The hardest parts of building software isn't writing the code, it's shipping the right first version. Hi, my name's Tristan. I'm a software engineer, and today I'm going to tell you about a project where the most valuable thing I did is not building the whole thing at once. A client came to me with a big, exciting idea. They wanted to use AI to automate their entire proposal writing workflow. Proposals are how they sell their company to a client as the best fit for a project. And a big part of that is digging up past projects that are similar to the new one. But similar could mean almost anything. They could be same sector, same building type, similar use case, and it's different for each proposal. So it was genuinely an exciting idea, and it was a great fit for AI. The workflow was relatively self-contained, and they had years of past proposals that I could use both to figure out how to build the system and for the agent to reference during use. The tempting move was just to start building the whole thing, but I knew that an automated proposal writing tool would require a lot of assumptions and that it would be a while before I could validate those assumptions with real users. So instead of asking, how do I build this whole thing? I asked, what's the smallest version that's actually worth shipping? For me, that meant something with three properties. It had to be small enough to build quickly, it had to solve a real problem on its own, and it had to move us towards the ultimate goal of total automation. To find that version, I spent time with the client understanding how proposals got written by humans. And it turned out they weren't just filling in templates. Each request for proposals had specific components that the response had to address. So every proposal was pretty different. But one thing came up over and over again. Before anyone could write it, they had to dig through some past work to find relevant projects to reference. That searching and extracting was a lot of the time it took to write the proposal. So that was the first version. Finding references was a slow, painful process, so that made search valuable on its own. And it was also the foundation that full automation would eventually need. So we agreed the first release would be a centralized file store with natural language search and a basic AI agent over the top. That's much simpler to build, and it still addressed a real bottleneck for them. It turned out to be a great asset. It saved them a lot of time, it made it way easier to find past projects, and it meant that they didn't have to go to senior partners to find documentation. But the most valuable thing for me wasn't the time savings, it was the information that I gained. Once people were actually using the system, I could watch how they used it, and I saw that they weren't really asking about the text in the documents. They were asking about the projects that the documents were part of. Questions like which projects involved RCMP facilities. And the search system handled these pretty badly because underneath it only saw document text. It didn't see projects. And that told me that the real problem with proposal automation wasn't just retrieval, it was teaching the system how to understand projects as discrete entities with history and relationships to each other. And I only learned that because I shipped something small and put it in front of real users. If I'd tried to build full automation from day one, I'd have built the whole thing on the assumption that this was just a retrieval problem. And I wouldn't have realized that mistake until after that incorrect assumption had influenced the entire project architecture. Shipping the first version didn't just deliver value sooner, it let me test my assumptions about the problem. So the point isn't just that I made their project less ambitious to ship faster, it's that finding the right first version also showed me what I misunderstood about the problem. So next time you're staring down an ambitious build, it's worth asking, what's the smallest version of this that would actually help? Because it's way better to find out what you got wrong whilst being wrong is still cheap. Thanks for watching.